Season 4 begins today then, as we kick off our season with a very difficult game against AGF, one of the better teams in the league, but we are also in the Europa Conference League qualifiers. We're not in there yet. We have to go through Sparta Praha, and then I assume there's two more rounds after that. There's a third and a fourth qualifying round. So, with that in mind, what we're going to do before we play any matches is we're going to talk about transfers. First, to give you a quick look at some of the players who've been released: Eddie Gomez, Jesper Lauritsen, Elias Sorensen, Trollson, and our number one goalkeeper from last season, Valeri Jurchuk, who has landed on his feet signing for Metalist. So I don't feel too bad. He's still 35 years old. He's getting on, but we have brought in a new goalkeeper who is, in theory, better. Also, frustratingly, all of our loan deals we have not been able to extend. So we don't have any players like your Jallos, your Butterfields, your Medleys, or your Ors. And it means we've had to kind of do something slightly different when it comes to replacing those players. And by that, I mean we've signed people. We've actually bought people. We're still not in a good way financially, and we are over our wage budget, but we've brought people. In order of when they signed is what we're going to go for. First up, Cosimo Angelini is an 18-year-old French central midfielder signed from Ententa. He was available on a free transfer. My scouts found him and went, he looks pretty good. And I went, you're probably right. So we brought him in. We have also brought in a couple of players on loan deals. Joel Carvalho, a player who I mentioned, I think, at the start of last season, when we tried to loan him in and couldn't manage it. We've loaned him in for this season instead. He's kind of going to be the Fabio Jallo replacement. Our new number one goalkeeper, Olorunleke Ojo. I'm so glad his surname is Ojo and not the first name, because I wouldn't be able to say that. Ojo is a 29-year-old Nigerian former under-20s international. I'd say he might be good enough to play for the first team for Nigeria, but he's probably not, is he? Let's be honest. He's just better in every way, I think, over what we had last year. Sticking with the Nigerians and sticking with the 29-year-olds, Kingsley Madu, a 29-year-old Nigerian international left-back, signed from FC Cassis from Slovakia. I've now just offended two nations. We've been on the search for a decent left-back for a number of seasons now, and I think Kingsley Madu, although he's not the best, I think for his age and the price that we're paying, £2,800 a week, I think it's a good player. We will still be able to improve, but probably not this season. Finally, giving some competition to Shandon Hopu, we've got Peter. He's 22 years of age, signed from Real Madrid on a free transfer. I stole him from Silkeborg. They put in an offer for him, and I went, oh, he looks pretty good. And then I brought him in. So we brought in Pete. He's also, I think, part Dominican. He's cost us absolutely nothing. Yeah, from the Dominican Republic. He's cost us absolutely nothing. I think he's better than Shandon Hopu by a fair distance. We have also brought in Akine Olisema, another Nigerian. I don't know why I've signed a lot of Nigerians this transfer window, but that's what we've done. 25-year-old central defender. We needed to bring in centre-backs after, obviously, we lost two from loan deals expiring. Olisema, I think, is probably one of our best players now. We've also brought in an 18-year-old Brazilian on loan from Pacos de Ferreira. Probably not how it's pronounced. I think Portuguese. He's good, isn't he? He's only 18 years of age. We've got him. He's costing us absolutely nothing. And we can buy him for £1.3 million if we wanted to buy him at any point during this loan spell. So if things go well in Europe and things go well in our bank account, maybe Darland signs on a permanent deal. And finally, my best and favourite transfer so far of the transfer window is Antonin Lecoq. He is an 18-year-old Belgian striker who I think is spectacular. I literally just found this guy a couple of days ago. I was looking for players who were available on a loan, and he came up, and he was free. So I looked at it and went, you can't go wrong with that, surely. He is a mercenary, let's ignore that. He's not going to be here forever. But if we can get a couple of good seasons out of him, maybe bump up his value to a couple of £1 million, we could be laughing with Antonin here, because he might save us financially. And that is the transfer business so far. Obviously, we are only on the 19th of July. We've got a long way to go before the transfer window closes. What I am going to do from a fixture perspective, I think we're going to start somewhere in August. So I'm going to play AGF and Viborg. I'm going to play the Sparta Praha games. I'm not going to focus on Europe unless things get exciting, okay? I'm fully aware being in Europe is more luck than judgment at this point. I think we might play those two. We might play OB and Sonderjuska, because I think we could probably win both of them. Just so you're aware as well, this is the season predictions. We're still expected to get relegated. Sonderjuska supposed to finish below us. Kind of. 600 to 1 each. Not good odds. Right then, 6 games have been played, and it's a mixed bag, isn't it? We've won a league game, we've beaten Viborg 2-0. We've drawn a league game, we've drawn 0-0 with AAB, the team that I think have just been promoted, the team that also have Zach Medley playing for them. We've also lost against Copenhagen and AGF, which you'd expect us to lose. In Europe, we got battered away from home, and then we won 3-2 at home. So we're out of Europe, no surprise to anybody, and we've got a bit of money. I mean, this is the most money we've had since the start of the game, where we had £1.65 million. So, you know, we've got a little bit of cash. It's not enough. I was trying to sign Harrison Ashby, who I think plays for Newcastle now, maybe, on a free transfer. I couldn't afford to pay his £30,000 to pay his agent. That's how bad our money situation is. We've also sold Shivani Willis to Mount Pleasant FC on a free transfer. I just wanted to get his wages off the books. We weren't ever playing him. Yes, he was our makeshift left back, but we've got 2 decent left backs now. Also, last season, I didn't mention any of this. I went scouting players that have been released from MLS teams, which is a weird thing to do, and we've got a couple coming in. We have Julius Luptak signing, sort of, from Sporting Kansas City on a free transfer. I think he might be good, he might not be good. They've all got, apparently, really good potential according to my scouts. I'm not 100% certain that they are, but he looks pretty good. We also have Scott Garcia, formerly of the Seattle Sounders. I assume they're still Seattle Sounders, coming in once again on a free transfer. And we also have a Canadian signing from Toronto. It's Sam Patriacola, who I think looks pretty good, doesn't he? I'm wondering whether we train him up to be a left back. That's just me. Ignore that. It's probably the worst decision I've ever said. We've also got Erling Ramirez, who I stole from the Honduran youth system, and he's still not here yet. He will be in about 3 or 4 months' time. He's also not very good. Right then, for the first match on camera for the season, it is OB Odense away from home. We're going to go with Ojo in goal, Mortensen, De Beer, Oli Sema, and Madu in defence. We've gone, it's a very changed defence, isn't it, from last season? But that would be understandable because a lot of players obviously were on loan and aren't here anymore. Strunk and Larson in the middle, Hopu and Marcondes on the wings, Major and Lecoq up front. I think we're a better team. I don't think we're a good team still. I think there are still some massive, massive holes in our squad. I think probably wingers are an issue. Speaking of, Pete and Montano, both injured. So yeah, that definitely doesn't help, does it? So I think OB are one of the kind of middling sides, maybe towards possibly finishing in the bottom half of the table. We are obviously one of the worst teams in the league, and it's finances. That is 100% the problem we have now. We have people who want to join us, who are good enough to improve us. We just can't afford to pay them the money. We need to pay players sort of £8,000. We can afford about £4,000. OB with a corner early on in the game, it's cleared. Shandon is going to collect it. I don't think we were all expecting to be seeing Shandon today, were we? Hopu finds Lecoq. The young Belgian striker takes a few touches and misses an open goal. Should be 1-0. I am liking this partnership of Meyer and Lecoq. Meyer and Lecoq up front is looking pretty good. Although literally the last 2 matches we've played, we have not scored a goal. So maybe it's not looking so good. Marcondes in on goal, straight towards the keeper. It is palmed away for a corner. Should be going to the front post, and we've got a big lad there. I'm not even sure who that is going to be. It is Meyer at the front post, and OB can clear their lines. Kingsley Madu's throw to Lecoq with a yellow card, which is not ideal. Shandon doesn't bother going for it. Mortensen, who, by the way, is unhappy because I was trying to sell him to bring in Harrison Ashby, and it's all fallen through. It's crossed in, it's cleared, and are OB going to get the ball upfield? They do, but it's chested down by Olisema. Good. Kingsley Madu on the halfway line, cuts inside the fullback. It's forward to Meyer, and Meyer's effort is saved. He was offside anyway. We're looking good. We're just not taking our chances. Corner for OB, and I imagine, this is all my word, Ojo with the save. The highlight is carried on. I think he actually tipped it onto the post, didn't he? The highlight is carrying on. Vestergaard goes for a long-range effort well over the bar. It's likely to be 0-0 at half-time. It is 0-0 at half-time, because as I said those words, the half-time whistle went. Right, we're doing okay. We have been unlucky. I'm going to say that. Nobody really cared. Right, defenders, you weren't bad. Sure, we'll do that. Keep going, you've got the ability. And keep going, you've got the ability. Fixed a little bit. Into the second half then, and an early highlight. And Marcondes has the ball for us in a good position. 2 in the box, crosses in. Meyer is one of them, goes just over the bar. We are knocking at the door, but what we're doing is we're knocking on the wall next to the door. We're not really hitting the door, are we? That was a weird analogy. I don't know where that came from, and I feel like I shouldn't have said it. Right, we're going to do Carvalho coming on for Meyer, which might be a risk. And I think we swap you 2 round. No, we don't. We'll keep you that way round. Do we do anything else? Mortensen's having a bad game. We don't have any more right backs. Oscar Block can play as a right back. He's left-footed. Oscar Block can play as an inverted right back. I feel like this is going to be a 0-0, and we're going to have all the chances and just not score a goal. It's final 20 minutes of the match. Marcondes is on a 6-2. What are you doing, buddy? Get off the pitch. We're going to do Fun Mang, who, by the way, he's been at the club since the start of the save, and he just keeps getting loaned out. I don't know if he's good or not. I think he might be. He's played a few matches for us this season. He played in the Europa Conference League, came off the bench. He's already played a league game as well from Myanmar. I'm hoping he can do something. I'm hoping he can come off the bench, whip it across, stick it on Lecoq's head, and we win 1-0. That'll be nice. Anything happening would be magical. Just anything at this point. We've got a corner. Strunk takes it towards the front post. It's cleared. We're going to hopefully keep it alive. Tindabir is the man. Kingsley Madu lines up a shot, and the Nigerian fullback's effort, I think, hit the bar and goes wide. It's going to be a 0-0 draw, and we've deserved to win. It's another game. 3 games now where we have not scored a goal. This is potentially going to be a problem. So after 5 games, we are back where we know we are in a relegation scrap, although obviously still very early days. Next up, Sonderjyske, a team who have drawn once and lost 4 games. So let's hope that we make it 5 defeats. We can pick up our 2nd win of the season, put us on to 8 points, which in theory could fly us all the way up to sort of 7th or 8th in the table. That'll be nice. For match number 2 then, against Sonderjyske, I think that is how it's pronounced, or at least that's how I'm going to say it. It is going to be basically the same starting 11. In fact, I think it is the same starting 11. Odo, Mortensen, De Beer, Lasema and Madu, Strunk and Larsen, Hopu Marcondes, Lecoq and Meyer. We are still missing Pete and Montano, which is frustratingly annoying because Pete is good. Pete, I think, will make our team better when he's available, but this injury is frustrating me. It's really annoying. He's got 3 assists in 5 starts and 1 goal. Pete is good. Now, obviously, match number 6 of the season, probably very early to be saying this, but this is a must-win game. If we want to stay in this league, I still think we're in a relegation scrap, but we are starting to fix our finances. But if we want to stay in this league, we need to win against Sonderjyske. We cannot ever lose against the teams that should be getting relegated ahead of us. Sonderjyske is that team. These are the AC Horsens of last year. It's taken 25 minutes to get here, but we've got ourselves a highlight. Mortensen's ball forward. Shandon's nowhere near it. And now Sonderjyske can control it and go backwards. That's fine. You can keep going backwards all day long, mate, if you want. In the middle is Sapala, left-hand side. We've nicked it through Matteo Meyer. He got bored of waiting to try and get the ball and went for it himself. Meyer's there, plays it back to Mortensen. 2-3 in the box, and Emiliano Marcondes is there. Gets his goal, makes it 1-0. Apparently a 2nd goal of the season. And this should be plain sailing from this point. And now I've said it out loud with a microphone on, which is what I'm convinced means Football Manager can hear you. It means that it's not going to be plain sailing. 32 minutes on the clock, and we've got another highlight. Matteo Meyer with a weird sliding tackle that he didn't need to do. Don't really know why he went for that. Karamoko on the right-hand side. Christiansen plays it back to Brandhoff on the ground, intercepted easily by Olasema, all the way back to his Nigerian teammate Ojo. What are we going to do then? Olasema again. Madu's there, does use Madu. Now Larsen, going to go for a run. Lumps it upfield to find Meyer. That's a good ball. 2 in the box. If anyone wants to join, would be lovely. Meyer keeps hold of it. Larsen, back to Larsen again. Fair enough. Gets some space. Goes for goal himself. Wasn't the right decision, mate. Was not the right decision at all. Half time then, it is 1-0. And we're looking good, but we can do better. Yeah, find another gear in the second half. I mean, my team talks have been awful so far this season. But I don't even know. I don't want to say... No, just walk away. I've done an average team talk. We'll deal with it. Matteo Meyer is struggling. And I'm wondering whether it's because he's on the wrong side. Because last season he was playing as the pressing forward. This season he's playing as the advanced forward. Because Lecoq is better that way round. Maybe we do that. On average, I think we've still got the same amount of stars. 70 minutes on the clock, and okay, I was going to say we might not have any more highlights, but we do. Olisema's ball upfield towards Meyer, doesn't get anywhere near him. Marcondes controls it, sort of, plays it all the way back. Ojo's well out of his area. I don't like that. Definitely do not like that, especially now that we've lost the ball. We've got it back, though. Larsen towards Shandon. Is he going to get there first? Flicks the head towards Meyer. Nowhere near Meyer, though. And now Sonderjuska can possibly counter-attack. They do so, but Tin is there to pick that ball up. Ojo on the ground to Strunk. Big kick towards Marcondes, the goal scorer. Needs some support. Is he going to go it alone? He's been kicked. It's going to be a penalty. And if that's not a penalty, that's a Marcondes yellow card for diving. It is a penalty, and I'm assuming it is going to be Mateo Meyer stepping up to take it. It is number 9 then. Can he double our lead? Can he get some confidence back in those boots? It is 2-0 against Sonderjuska, his 3rd goal of the season. And I think, I said it earlier, but I think we've got this match now. This match should be done. Minutes later, a whole load of subs for Sonderjuska and a highlight. They've got a man in the middle of the pitch called MP. Just his name's MP. What? They've got a member of parliament in the middle of the pitch. I need to find out who you are. I literally just ignored that entire highlight. They did have a chance. I didn't commentate over any of it because I was confused by MP. It was saved by our goalkeeper. Meyer finds Hopu. It doesn't find Hopu. Tried to find him. It was a terrible pass and run. We need to get there first. Olisema is the man to get there first, but it's coming straight back towards us. Larsen to Strunk. Why is this still here? This happened like 20 minutes ago. Lecoq controls it well into the penalty area. Goes to the opposite corner, and Antonin Lecoq makes it 3. And with that, let's do some changes. We're going to do Seka coming on the right-hand side. Madu's going to come off as well. No, he's not. I want to bring Darlin on. I like Darlin. I think we'll bring Darlin on for Tin, because Tin's more tired. This is, now I'm looking at this, the shape. Trying to get some people back into sharpness. Is that what it is? Is it sharpness or shape? It's match sharpness. I've played Football Manager for probably 20 years. And maybe even longer, and I still don't know what any of these things mean. We're going to do Joel Carvalho as well for Meyer. Even though Meyer has scored, it was a penalty, so doesn't really count, does it? I mean, it does, but you know what I mean. So we've gone from scoring no goals in 3 matches in a row to scoring 3 goals in 1 match. It could be a clean sheet as well. It should be a clean sheet, and it still currently is a clean sheet thanks to Ojo, who, by the way, I think we've got ourselves a good goalkeeper. For the first time in 3 seasons, we've got ourselves a good goalkeeper. Kastrup with the corner for Sonderjuska, and Ojo comes out and says, "You're right, boss, I am a good goalkeeper, and I'm going to claim that one." Still not quite done. 5 minutes to play. Can we get a 4th? Marcondes to Lecoq, to Larsen, back to Lecoq. He's in on goal again. Can he do the same thing again? He can't. He tried. Pozovec, I think, blocked it. Then it goes off for a corner. We've stopped scoring from corners as well. I might need to take a look at this. Marcondes' corner comes in. Pozovec comes out, holds onto that one easily. Full time then, 3-0. 3-0. I think from a performance perspective, we played very well. And I think Sonderjuska didn't. They had a couple of decent players, Chamba and Matson. I need to find out who's MP. Where's MP? I genuinely don't know who the MP person is. Player statistics, can I do it this way? Sonderjuska. Do they have anyone whose initials are MP? I think it's you, Mikkel. I think you're MP. Anyway, 3-0 win. Good result, good performance. Obviously, early days, but this is good reading, okay? If we can keep this up, being a mid-table team, I'll be happy with. If we can finish 6th place in the preliminary phase, and then we don't need to worry about relegation, that's a good season for me. I think we are still maybe 2 seasons away from thinking about trying to challenge for regular European competition. But if we can kind of, like I said, mid-table's good. I'll be happy with mid-table. Before we finish this episode, we do have the transfer window closing on the 1st of September or the 2nd of September. We're going to go forward to that, which means we'll play at Vela off camera, and we might do some more business. I don't think we will, but we might. So we'll stick around. I'll tell you what happens. Right, we are not quite on deadline day, but we have just beaten Vela 2-0, and Mads Larsen has damaged his cruciate ligaments, which means he is out for basically the entire season. We don't have a lot of central midfielders. I think we need to find somebody, and just to give you a bit of context, we've got no transfer budget, and we are £3,000 over our wage budget. We need to go looking on the loan market for frees. Okay, deadline day is complete, and we have done a little bit more business, and it's not the most exciting. If I'm honest, we brought in 2 more players on loan deals in that defensive midfielder position as backups. The fans absolutely hate one of them for some reason. First up is Thiago Octavio, signed from Sporting. Also, the other defence midfielder, also signed from Sporting. Don't know why they've got two defence midfielders, and we've brought them both in. The fans are okay with this one. They're happy. He's all right. He's a backup. They know that. He's basically probably going to play a few games, but not a huge amount. And secondly is João Pereira, who has signed from Sporting. He's probably more of a centre-back, but he can also play in that defence midfield position. He's, again, costing us nothing. Both of these players come in on £0 per week. Both of them come in as impact subs, so they're not expecting to play much football, if any. But the fans hate the fact that we've signed him, because I think, judging by the 5-star potential, the fans assume he's going to be superb and world-class, and we're going to spend our time developing him rather than our own players, which is nonsense. Pereira may never play for us. So that is our transfer business done for Season 4 in the summer, at the very least. Obviously, we've got January to worry about, but obviously we've got our bank balance to worry about as well. We still don't have any money. I feel like we'll never have any money at this rate. We're doing okay. We're doing okay. As I mentioned as well, we did beat Valja 2-0, which means we are 5th in the table. If we can keep up this pace, I think this is going to be a nice, indifferent season, I think is the best way to say it. That's going to do it for this episode. Next episode, I don't know where we're going to go. We're going to go somewhere in this section. Sure, we're going to play someone in October or November. I have no idea, but thank you very much for watching this one. Like, subscribe, and all that fun, fancy YouTubey stuff, and I'll be back next time.